usual.
But wait, we can talk in here about anything.
No.
Oh, it could be about the movie. It's a movie discussion.
You're a studio audience.
I didn't even watch the movie.
So you can't even.
I thought Harry was gonna come up just punching. You don't want that.
I thought if we came in here, we could talk.
Never invited.
So you can be the guy in the sound booth.
Nothing but love.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's all we need.
I will be on something. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Movie Marks Podcast. I am your host, Anthony St. James. Joined with me is Mr.
Rich, hi, how's it going, folks?
Check Mike 1, 2. And our guest for today is Mr. Josh Wells. Josh, what makes you an expert about El Campeons de Justice?
I don't even know what you just said, man.
All right, thank you for that, Josh. Who are you?
You invited me to be on your podcast to watch a movie. It was a great movie, a fantastic movie, and yeah, that's what I'm here.
All right, we just finished watching Campeons de Justice, starring
Blue Demon, and also the legendary Matt Damon.
Yes.
Mil
Mascaras, aka Mexican Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. And a bunch of other Mexican luchadors.
Did we learn anyone else besides Mil Mascaras and Matt Damon?
Shit. I think probably just Mil Mascaras and Blue Demon were they were the headline.
There was like a bunch of midgets.
Yeah.
Little people. There's
Black Hand.
Got Black Hand.
Black Hand.
Oh, Black Hand.
Well,
But he was
Black Hand was the
villain.
bad guy.
Yeah. But
There were babes. There were a lot of babes.
there was a Mexican Ric Flair in there.
Ricardo Flair, yeah.
Ricardo Flair.
Black Shadow.
Black
Oh,
Shadow.
that's
the
there you
one.
go. Thank you.
Thank you, studio audience. Give yourself a round of applause.
There we go.
There we
Studio
go.
audience. So are we gonna go over the whole
Let's
plot of the movie?
Do a quick synopsis. The movie we just finished watching, Le Campeón de Justice, with my incredibly awesome Spanish accent. It's pretty much the Lucha Libre Mexican version of the Avengers, even though this came out like in 1970 something.
So they can actually sue Marvel then.
Yeah, it's because it's the same plot. Arnold Zorla, is that his name? What's his name?
Armin Zola.
Armin Zola. Sorry.
AKA Black Hand.
Yeah, I'm such a comic book nerd. But yes, Black Hand is he'll be referred to.
So Armin Zola kidnaps the goddaughters. Why they're not the daughters or the girlfriends of these guys? They're specifically every single one goddaughters.
And they're frozen in boxes for some apparent reason.
Thawed out.
Yeah, they were thawed out.
They were kidnapped by useless midgets. Not our word, their word.
I mean, they had the
Little
letter.
people.
They
Little
had the
people.
letter M on their
But you could
chest.
stand for money gun.
Or maybe just Mexican, like super Mexican pride. Like,
Little cabrones.
M&Ms.
They're called. Thank you. Check some
And
out.
that's what
Thank you, studio audience.
Woo!
Thank you.
Let's start a chant. We deserve it. God, I hate. There's certain wrestling chants I hate.
Yeah.
Okay, they're literally the worst. All right, so Josh, what is your favorite scene of this movie?
The first explosion, the motorcycle explosion, because it was unexpected. Like the second explosion scene, like you kind of expected that, but like the first explosion was cool. I also like when they made the midgets 10 times stronger, and they put them in that like little machine, and
The bell jar, or whatever the fuck that was.
And it looked like they were suffocating them with explosions. I don't know, and then they came out and they were strong.
And we saw almost every single one of them go through the exact same thing. Same thing with the. That was also a scene. My favorite scene was involving Miss Mexico, where it was just every single chick, one at a time, walking slowly, turning around, walking back, and then and it was like an applause, despite the fact that you could tell there was no one there. So it's like what do you call that? A canned applause.
Yeah.
Richard.
But I also like, speaking of the Mexican girls, when they were all, having their little siesta, the villains, the what do you call them?
The midgets?
Not the midgets, but there's a term for bad guys in Lucha Libre.
Rudo.
Los Rudos. They decide to go and they're going to kidnap the girls, and they use chloroform, but they were already sleeping. So it kind of defeated the purpose that they chloroformed these chicks.
Now, Rich, when you kidnap girls, how do you wake them up and then knock them out?
No,
Or you just-
roofies all the way.
Roofies all the way.
I used the Bill Cosby method, so there you go.
Let's put this straight. They're not midgets. They're regular Mexicans.
Oh!
Damn.
Yes, we got a Donald Trump supporter in here, so there you go.
Boo to Are we booing midgets or are we booing Mexicans?
Both!
Whoa.
With their sausage fingers.
I just want to know, like, all right. So there's a Miss Mexico contest, right? So, and then all the contestants of Miss Mexico, they all get kidnapped.
Sponsored by Corona.
And there's no like Mexican authorities searching. Like, are the luchadors the Mexican authority?
Pretty much.
Is that like who they call when you have?
Yeah.
Like Ghostbusters.
Yeah, there's no cops.
And also the great thing about the luchadors, they had, much like all superheroes, they had cool vehicles. And one had like a dune buggy. One of them had like an Impala, but they're in Mexico, of course. So
And their music.
yes, and the music. They had this awesome like house jazz band.
It was like
playing,
Birthday.
No.
kept playing over and over again. The ultimate drum solo. It was great.
This movie soundtrack was literally just one song on loop for the entire fucking time. Non-stop elevator jazz, no matter what was happening. Whether they're flying in planes, jumping out of planes, and for some reason, even though they're supposed to be looking for their goddaughters, doing laps in a lake. What's she doing? Jet skiing. The music just non-stop, never ended.
Yeah, and that was sort of bad on the part of like the heroes. They're all like water skiing and having fun, while the other ones are like trying to actually solve the crime and figure out what the fuck's going on in this whole movie, like most of us were. But yeah,
I mean, you can't fault them, right? Like maybe they didn't even know what was going on.
It was their day off. It's like, okay,
they're like, this plot is confusing. Let's go jet skiing.
like Blue Demon and Mil Mascara's like, all right, guys, you earned your day off. We'll figure out this whole thing and stuff like that.
Right? Because if they're the Mexican equivalent of cops or whatever, they should get days off.
They're Lucha Libre Interpol. I believe that was the term.
Federale, yeah.
And then they were like, let's call it Interpol like an hour and a half into the movie. Like, you should have called them in the beginning. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it was clear they didn't care about saving their god.
Exactly.
Or when the assistant died, he had the only Kool-Aid smile. Like, oh shit, my assistant just blew up.
Yeah.
Can you believe this?
Well, I don't want to say anything, but you saw the
And also, what made also in the beginning of the movie, where we're actually seeing an actual wrestling match, and all of a sudden it becomes like a shootout.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, like these midgets come out with these guns, and they're all hiding, or they're trying to hide.
In hindsight, that seemed totally unnecessary. Like, it had nothing to do with them kidnapping.
Yeah, and it's like
the referee got murdered.
Yeah, that's the only one, and apparently bullets don't hurt luchadors. So there you go.
Well, they were all planching away. They're planching away from all the bullets.
Yeah,
so I know we're going out of order. So
pretty much the only person that died
was the referee, and that one sad midget got thrown into the monitor and just went up in flames.
That was the greatest scene.
Yes, that's where all the budget went to. That one shot.
Monitor.
The guy military pressed a midget, threw him across the room. When he landed, like, okay, maybe he's okay. Then he just burst into flame randomly. Everything in this movie blows up. Like bikes blow up, cars blow up. Planes, everything just blows up for no reason.
I do like the car with the machine guns in the front, but a license plate, and then it could grease the roads.
Very James Bond.
Yeah, that was very out of Spy Hunter.
Yeah,
it's a classic '80s video game
on the same recycled road. That they were using the whole movie.
Exactly. In this movie, they kept using the same road over and over and over again, and just like Spy Hunter, it was like the same loop over and over again.
Like the directors probably found like the only roundabout in Mexico, so it's like perfect. We're gonna film here. Nobody will notice. So except for us.
Yeah.
But
and probably everybody that's ever watched the movie.
Were there any technical wrestling moves in this?
I saw a body slam and a backbreaker.
Wait, there was one choke slam from the airplane all the way to the ground.
The greatest choke slam ever.
Yeah.
I like how
take that, Big Show.
That was after they miraculously. After they wrecked stuff like five coffins into a plane.
What kind of plane was that?
A Cessna.
A Cessna. I'm not a plane expert, but one of our audience members is. He's like, oh, that's a Cessna 2000. I'm like, thank you. But
the pilot had the all nowhere to like have a parachute on him because he knew he's gonna fight some luchadors.
He never took out his parachute no matter what. Yeah. So what these brilliant luchadors did was they hid in the back of this plane. When they're in flight 20,000 feet in the air, that's when they attack the pilot and decide put him in a camel clutch, like take us to Mexico City, even though that's not where our goddaughters are.
Yeah. But luckily, Mil Mascara knew how to fly a plane.
Mexico's pretty big, so let's start there. And then from there, when he did a hard right, that's when Blue
Demon. Yeah.
choke slam Matt Damon.
Blue Demon, like
Blue Demon.
That's when he choke slam. He gave him the literal choke slam from hell. Oh man, but Josh,
Would it have been funny if you give the little choke slam to one of the midgets? That would have been more freaking awesome.
Now, do you remember that midget that threw that grown-ass man?
The longest fight scene ever.
so what is this? So Arnold, what's his name? Armin Zola decides to make the midgets, give him the strength of 10 midgets. So at one point, the one midget,
is that 5 regular people? Is that?
yeah.
But you forgot to mention that the
There's
first
got to be like a
time.
mathematical theory to this.
You forgot to mention the first time they actually went under the bell jar that the powers were temporary. Then they gave him like these cool little bracelets. Pun intended. But to give them like even more power so they can battle the luchadors. Yeah.
And also match with their little Magneto costumes.
Yes. Yeah.
they all kind of like Magneto.
That's
He
why
said that
they had
during
the M right on their chest.
M is for Magneto, the little Magnetos. It was a wink to Marvel Comics. Maybe the M was for
Midget
Marvel.
Magneto.
So yeah, that was the spot of the movie where the midget grabs Blue Demon by the waist and just chucks him in the air, and great special effects. It's like, wow, I can't believe they had the technology back then to do that.
It felt like you know how like Adam Sandler will just make like these garbage movies with his friends, and like they go straight to Netflix,
You mean-
and no one
Yeah,
likes
like
them.
Growing Up.
You mean every
Not Growing Up, but
you
the
mean-
other one.
every single movie past Waterboy?
Right, exactly. Like it's really just an excuse for him to like get out of the house and hang out with his friends. Like I feel like that's what this movie is. It was just like they want to hang out. And
He's just
have a
like,
good time.
see, the movie has to take place in Hawaii. It's very key to the plot. So one of the reasons why I asked Josh on this podcast so we could do this one about Campeons and Justice is because Mr. Josh Wells here is a stand-up comedian,
Yeah.
and one of his my favorite jokes of his is the one about Puerto Rican women with mustaches.
I don't remember that joke.
Whoa!
Set me up.
Wait, I want to hear this joke.
I don't.
It does exist.
You're pretty much going to insult my girlfriend.
It doesn't. No.
No, she's got the full beard.
I think you already did.
She has
Oh,
a
no
Hey,
point intended.
Hey, I like her goatee. Nah,
She's like Guy Fieri.
I'm just
You shut your mouth. I'm offended for her.
The studio audience guy over here is going to go home. He's going to see all this stuff out inside. Like, I heard that fucking podcast.
I'm just kidding. Apparently, I made that joke on Josh's podcast, which is called
Pizza and Pop podcast. Check it out.
check it out on Stitcher, iTunes, and whatever.
SoundCloud, whatever.
SoundCloud.
All that stuff.
So episode 6 he was nice enough to have me as a guest, and apparently I insulted another co-host, made a joke, so I figured I'll bring it around, try to even it out here.
Oh! We got a heckler in the house.
Shots fired.
Rich,
Shots fired.
Yes.
Rich, hold my microphone. Let me give this guy Hurricane Rada. No way, a choke slam off this movie.
Get him the Cessna and freaking give him a choke slam. There you go.
So yeah, they somehow fit 5 bodies into the Cessna, even though our friend here says only 2 bodies fit. I'm not gonna ask you how you know that.
And the giant crates too. How they got that?
the crates.
Yeah.
I mean, when they had the one in there, they were like doing like a shot inside the plane when there was only one, and it looked like it was full.
But it wasn't ready for
And then they were putting the second
Let
one
me
in,
put 3 more in there.
and they were doing like this angling shot, and there was like no resolution to the angling. It was like them like trying to figure it out, and then they went straight to like flying in the
And
air.
also,
They
Blue
figured
Demon
it.
and Nomascaros, they must have chameleon in their blood or something because they were able to blend into any type of background, and none of the villains would see them. It's like they'll never see us.
Did you guys ever see the Terrible Thunder Lizards?
Yeah.
No.
The Incredible Thunder Lizards.
Whatever.
Incredible Thunder Lizards.
There was an episode where they teamed up with like Mr. T-Rex and another guy. He was like the master of disguise. Yeah, he was a
Did he
T.
have a gold? Did he have a fucking mohawk?
Yeah, it was voiced by Mr.
Oh,
T.
God.
It was voiced by Mr. T.
Up here, you caveman.
So they had one character.
Mr. T should have been in this movie, man.
That would have been
now
awesome.
we're talking about Mr. T. That would have been great, right? Like if he just had like a luchador mask and
Maybe he was a black guy.
No, he was Dominican,
Just
man.
because
They were
he
all
all-
in
yeah.
Mexico. Get it
Just-
right.
just because you all look the same to you, man. Like
Yeah.
He was obviously Dominican. So in this TV show, they teamed up with another group. So the guy was the master of disguise, and he's like, "All right, guys, I have this." and he just takes out a leaf, and they'll start like walking behind the leaf, and next to the wind blows the leaf away, and the bad guy's like, there they are!
Blue Demon and the Masquerades had like giant sunflowers to freaking hide behind.
So that was one of the greatest scenes in cartoon history. So let's get ready to wrap this bad boy up because I'm pretty intoxicated. Beer of the week is Brooklyn Lagers, regular pre-prohibition style.
Well, that's what I'm drinking. What are you drinking, Diego?
So in conclusion, one more time, Rich, would you recommend this movie to your friends?
Yes, especially after having a few Brooklyns and maybe a little bit more something else, smokety smoke. You will enjoy it.
I don't know
and
what
you
that
can,
means.
yeah.
What is this hip terminology?
Yeah. Okay. Smoking weed. There we go. I wanted to.
I still understand.
You will.
Josh,
but I would definitely recommend.
what's your overall view of this movie?
I mean, as far as recommendations go, I would recommend it to like my friends that I don't like that much.
Oh, I agree. Oh, so that's why we're watching it today, huh?
I don't know, man. It just wasn't very. It's a shitty movie, man. What else can you
How
say?
dare you? My mother made this movie.
One of the goddaughters.
She's the Puerto Rican with the mustache. All right. Well, I personally love this movie, so I was really paying attention. But good times, good wrestling. Josh, where can people find you online? Or
you can follow me on Twitter at Josh Ain't Funny. Josh Wells on Facebook. You can see me in real life. I don't know. Google me, man.
Sorry, Google, don't do that. All right. So let's just end this episode. Midgets leave.
Roll out.